Hey guys, it's Cloudy Kai, and I'm back again with another video for all you lovely viewers at home right now. So today is something truly special a bit today. Something special to my heart and to my childhood. What may this be, you ask? Well, last week Capcom announced something on the latest Nintendo Direct, the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. Now, after years of this franchise being thought of as dead, it has triumphantly returned with this announcement of a collection of all the old games from the Versus series, spanning from X-Men Children of the Atom all the way to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which will be on PC, PS4, and Switch. It will also be backwards compatible on the PS5. Me and many of this fans, this is a huge deal for the franchise and opens up a brighter future for the Versus series after years of radio silence. But many of you watching may be wondering, why is this the case? Why is this collection of fighting games so important? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about today. So sit back, grab some snacks, and enjoy today's video. So first, let me explain some basic history of the franchise. So the story begins all the way back in 1994 with X-Men Children of the Atom. Capcom and Marvel originally agreed to work together, with Marvel giving Capcom the license for dirt cheap to make licensed games based off their comic book characters. The first of these games being X-Men Children of the Atom. This game would hit arcades in 1994 with the Sega Saturn version coming shortly after. This game would be highly innovative with its fresh style of gameplay in the fighting game genre, with it being much faster paced than game like Street Fighter 2, as well as allowing for air combos and all sorts of new additions that made this game feel innovative compared to others in the genre. The following year, in 1995, Capcom will release Marvel Superheroes to the arcades, which expanded the roster from only the X-Men to the entire Marvel Universe, with a big mechanic of the game being the Infinity Stones. Capcom already had a good thing going, so they would follow up in 1996 with a crossover known as X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which kickstarted the crossover aspect of the series, as well as introducing a tag team mechanic, making the game a 2v2 tag team fighter, which made the gameplay a lot more energetic and paved the way for 3v3 fighters, or tag team. I don't know why I said put 3v3 in the script, but tag team fighters in today, such as the future MVC games and Dragon Ball FighterZ. The game sold like hotcakes, and eventually would follow up with Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, and eventually in 1998 it would happen. Both universes had their entire catalog of characters up for grabs. Marvel versus Capcom Clash of Heroes. No more was it limited to Marvel and Street Fighter, and now Capcom had free reign as well to add characters such as Morrigan and Mega Man. Eventually, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 would drop in 2000 and have a vast roster of 56 characters, and would go on to become the most critically acclaimed game in the series, and would become a staple of the FGC and EVO. Aside from this, it also introduced a new way to make the tag team combat even more exciting. Now you can play as 3 character teams, just 2 character teams, which was an amazing decision on Capcom's part. But then the series would go silent. The series halted. Basically, yearly releases, but stopped making new MVC games, and it was never heard from for a while. Fighting games really started to die out until 11 years later, after the rise of fighting games again with Street Fighter 4. In 2011, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 would be released, and this now introduced 3D models to the game and was seen as a triumphant return, although the game would be eventually overshadowed by its expansion Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which became an EVO and FGC staple. So what happened next? Well, 6 years later, we would eventually get Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and well, that was a pretty shit game. They downgraded many of the mechanics, and the graphics were pretty horrible. The story was horrible, and it was not on par with the past entries. The gameplay was fine, but Marvel 3 and 2 are just simply better. And then with the game flopping in 2017, and all support ending for it in early 2018, the series would basically keel over and die. Until now. So now that that history lesson is out of the way, let's talk about why this collection is such a good thing, and why it's really cool that they're making this. First of all, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has been trapped behind arcade consoles for many years to the point where finding a copy of this game is almost $200. Of course, there's Fightcade and emulating the game, and most people don't want to go through the process of emulation. Be real for a second. even got to a point where 3 years ago there was a campaign on Twitter to free MVC2, started by Maximilian Dude, which became gigantic. And now after all these years, we're not only getting MVC2 back like we wanted, but we're getting all these old Marvel games back. And not only do they also now have training modes and online, they now have a rollback netcode, which promises a smooth online experience. So this collection is already an amazing announcement considering MVC2 is finally free, but it's also a positive for the future of the franchise, because I believe after this collection comes out, we will eventually get an announcement for MVC4/5. It depends on if you count Infinite, so that's why I said 4/5. Here's my reasoning. Back in 2008, Capcom came up with a port of MVC2 to the 360, ended up becoming the most downloaded digital game of all time back then. And then only 3 years later, we got Marvel 3. So most likely history will repeat itself, and we are now going to get a new Marvel after the collection at some point. I don't know when. Now, I personally believe Marvel 5 is already in the works, and this collection should develop hype for the game. And I suspect at the absolute earliest, the game would be announced at EVO 2025, and we would see a release at the very earliest, late 2026. And if the game has been in development for since let's say 2021, when the free MVC2 movement started, then it would have 5 years of development now. It's very possible it might already been in development for longer than that, but we don't know. I personally think it's already in development. I don't really have an idea on how far in development it would be. It depends, or maybe it's not even development yet, or maybe it's just starting. You never really know, but who knows? It could have been in development for a while now. Now, many will be asking, will the collection sell well? Well, seeing how successful the MVC2's 360 port was back then, and how much MVC2 means to the FGC, and how big the campaign was alongside the hype for the collection on Twitter as of recent since it was announced, I think this collection can very easily pass the mark of 1 million units sold, possibly even 2 million. 3 million I think is kind of where it would peak, but I definitely can see it surpassing 1 million units, even for a collection. There could possibly be more people playing Marvel Capcom 2 than in the entire game's history when this collection comes out, and I think this collection is the beginning of this franchise's resurrection. Now, there is some controversy around this game, and it's because it's not coming to any Xbox consoles. Now, some people on Twitter and YouTube have been very mad about this, but I'm going to go ahead and explain why it's not going to be on Xbox. Reason number one is that Xbox One and Series X no longer support MG Framework, which is what the collection runs on. Reason two, that fighting games and Capcom games in general barely sell on Xbox. No one plays fighting games on Xbox, and so they would much rather play on PC or PlayStation. Reason number three is that Xbox likes to put all these games on Game Pass, sometimes even day one on Game Pass, and so they would probably want to put them on Capcom Game Pass, and Capcom doesn't want that because it would affect the sales, and so Capcom has literally every reason to just avoid putting the game on Xbox entirely, because it's not going to make much money anyways, because no one there's going to be barely anyone who buys it on Xbox. So they literally have every reason not to put it on an Xbox. And to all those people out there who are mad it's not going to be on Xbox, don't be mad at Capcom, be mad at Xbox, because it's really their fault, because they don't support the stuff anymore. So yeah, and it's all this stuff, it's just not Capcom isn't doing it for once. This is all on Xbox. It's also just ass nowadays. Just get a PlayStation or a Switch or something like that. PlayStation 4 are pretty cheap nowadays, and this game runs on PlayStation. And if you happen to be balling, get a gaming PC. Or actually, even better yet, cost-wise, you can just get a crappy PC for a couple $100, and it's probably going to run this game, because these games are 25 plus years old. Even the shittiest of PCs can probably run it. But yeah, you'd probably have a much better time on the systems anyways, because even if it was on Xbox, it would just be dead on that platform on arrival, because no one plays fighting games on Xbox. They're not going to find any online matches because it's not crossplay. But the Xbox is just a dying console. But anyways, that'll be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Sorry for not uploading for a couple weeks. I just got extremely busy and I was doing stuff. But if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.